Yoga PodClass, episode 34. Come alive. The shift from fixing to feeling. What if your healing isn't about letting go, but letting in the parts you've been trying to bury? Today's episode is about the sacred shift from fixing your past to feeling fully alive in your present. We're not just releasing the wound, we're welcoming the wisdom. Breathe with me. Greetings and namaste, beautiful soul. I'm Chelsie Kennedy, your friend, your guide, and welcome to the Yoga PodClass, where we don't just talk about healing, we breathe, feel, and live it. This isn't a practice to fix you. It's a pathway to meet what's already alive inside of you. One breath at a time. Let's dive in. What if the next step in your healing wasn't about doing more, but about listening more deeply? What if you didn't need to let go of your story? You just needed to give it space to breathe. So many of us have worked hard to release the pain, but what if your wholeness isn't in release? It's in integration. Shifting from the wound to aliveness. In modern wellness, we often hear, let it go, move on, reset, reclaim, rewire. But these phrases can subtly reinforce the belief that your pain is a problem, that your shadow is something to escape. There's a difference. There's a difference between letting go and integrating. Letting go too early becomes spiritual bypass. Integration, however, is inclusion with grace. Neurolinguistic programming, NLP, teaches us the part of you that you resists persists. But when you give that part a voice, it transforms. In traditional Chinese medicine, the liver stores unprocessed emotions like anger and resentment. It doesn't need to be forced open. It needs warmth, breath, and sound to flow again. In the nervous system, when we allow and breathe with our shadow instead of avoiding it, we shift from sympathetic overdrive to ventral vagal connection, from defense to discernment, from survival to aliveness. And from a yogic lens, yoga is the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. Then the seer abides in their own true nature. Yoga Sutra 1.2 and 1.3. Integration is the stilling, not by force, but by presence. Before we begin the guided practice, a reminder that you are responsible for your practice. To do no harm, this should not be painful. Following your breath and listening to the wisdom of your body. Each of my cues are soft, optional invitations. Let's begin. Invite you to the breath of integration. A place where we meet all parts of you right here. The soft, the scared, the shadowy, the strong. Finding a gentle seat or rest position An invitation to close your eyes if it feels safe to. Inhaling, feeling the belly expand as your breath arrives. And exhaling, softening your jaw, your spine, your shoulders. Inhale, allowing these words to wash over you. Exhale, allowing it to release like an ocean wave along the shore. Inhale, I welcome all parts of me. Exhale, even the parts I've tried to fix or forget. Inhale, this too belongs. Exhale, I am already whole. Inhale, and exhale. Soothing the liver meridian. Inhale. Like to a young baby. Inhale again. Feel that vibration clear space, not by erasing the shadow, but by making space for it to soften. Thank you for showing up to this practice today. Thank yourself for showing up, and your body for carrying you through all that it has. Lying in a restful final breath, allowing these words to continue to wash over you. Why does this even work? When you turn toward the part of you that you've tried to fix and instead say, you belong here, your brain rewires for safety. This awakens the prefrontal cortex, the seat of compassion and decision making, and it down-regulates the fear centers of the amygdala. You begin to move from trauma story to soma story, from mental loops to embodied presence. Leaving you with a few reflections today, journal prompts if you so desire. What part of me have I been trying to let go of that might actually need to be seen, heard, and included? Affirmation for today: I no longer abandon parts of myself to feel whole. I welcome my shadow as sacred. I am safe to feel it all and still pulse with life. Taking it off the mat. 1. Name the part. Don't shame the part. Say, a part of me is afraid, and a part of me is ready. This is NLP-based integration of internal parts. Traditional Chinese medicine practical tip for your liver meridian massage. Gently rub below your right rib cage and use the shh sound to soften stored heat, frustration, and pressure. Another invitation is to place objects, photos, or quotes that represent both light and shadow, allowing both to be visible. One of my favorite scriptures is Romans 12:2. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. This renewal isn't denial, it's divine integration. You are not your trauma. You are what remains after the trauma. And that part of you, that breath, that pulse, that spark is still alive. You don't need to exile your shadow to feel your light, and you don't need to hustle to heal. You are already whole and becoming more of yourself every breath. Are you ready to go deeper? I invite you to download the EO Health and Wellness app, a sanctuary of somatic breath and movement and presence. Catch our daily episodes of the Yoga PodClass. You can also book a one-on-one portal session to integrate shadow and awaken softness in your body. Visit us online at h3alealus.online/services. You're not here to just survive. You're here to pulse with life. Welcome back to your aliveness. Namaste. The light and darkness inside of me honors the light and darkness inside of you. Until next time.